You wake up every morning believing time is on your side. You tell yourself there's no rush. You'll travel later. You'll fix broken relationships later. You'll take care of your health later. You'll live the life you imagine later. 60 doesn't feel old. 70 feels far away. 90 feels unreal. So you wait. But time doesn't move the way you think it does. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't warn you. It doesn't slow down when you're busy or tired or afraid. It slips past quietly, hiding inside ordinary days. In skipped walks. In phone calls you meant to make. In hugs you postponed. In dreams you delayed because now isn't the right time. Then one day, something changes. You look in the mirror and don't recognize the person staring back. Your hands tell stories your mind hasn't caught up with. Your calendar feels thinner. Your energy feels smaller. And the years you assumed were patiently waiting for you are already gone. Aging does not arrive like a storm. It arrives like fog. Slow. Silent. Invisible. Until suddenly, you realize you are standing in a place you never planned to be. Not because you chose it, but because time chose for you. This is not meant to frighten you. It is meant to wake you. Because the most dangerous lie you can believe is this: I still have plenty of time. You don't lose your life in one dramatic moment. You lose it in thousands of tiny delays. In every later. In every someday. In every not now. And one day, later becomes never. Time is not your enemy. But it is not your friend either. It is a river that never stops moving. You can either drift, or you can choose how to swim. The question is simple. Will you wake up before the current carries you too far? When you're younger, your body feels like a loyal friend. It forgives late nights. It recovers from injuries. It carries you without complaint. You assume this partnership is permanent. You assume tomorrow will feel like today. It won't. After 60, the body begins to change its rules. Muscles shrink quietly. Balance weakens. Joints stiffen. What once felt effortless becomes something you have to think about. Standing up. Climbing stairs. Carrying a bag. Walking without fear. The cruel part is this: the decline is silent. It doesn't arrive with alarms. It whispers. You don't notice it on a single bad day. You notice it when a year passes and you realize you're moving slower. When a fall scares you more than it should. When you hesitate before doing something you once did without thinking. And by the time you truly see it, much of it cannot be reversed. Muscle lost after 60 is painfully hard to rebuild. Bone density does not come back. Balance must be trained, or it disappears. Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they believe they still have time. They tell themselves, I'll start next year. But the body doesn't wait for motivation. It only responds to action. You no longer exercise to look better. You exercise to remain free. To stand up without help. To walk without fear. To live without asking permission from your own body. Every walk you skip today becomes a weakness tomorrow. Every excuse becomes a future limitation. You are not training for vanity anymore. You are training for independence. Picture your future self. Imagine wanting to play with a grandchild but being unable to get down on the floor. Imagine needing help to do what once felt simple. That future is not created by age alone. It is shaped by what you do now. Your body is not permanent. It is borrowed. And every day you choose movement, strength and care, you are extending the lease on your freedom. One day, your body will stop listening. Until then, it is still answering. The question is, are you speaking to it? When you are young, life feels crowded. Your phone lights up. Birthdays are loud. Tables are full. There is always someone to call, somewhere to go, something to celebrate. You believe this noise is permanent. You believe these people will always be there. They won't. Time quietly thins your circle. Some friends drift away. Some move. Some change. And some disappear forever. One by one, the voices that knew your younger self begin to fade. The people who remember your first heartbreak, your old dreams, your foolish jokes, your brave moments, gone. Loneliness in old age is not just about being alone in a room. It is about being alone in your memories. Family may surround you. They love you. They care. But they did not grow up with you. They do not remember who you were before life reshaped you. Friends carry pieces of your history. When they vanish, parts of you vanish with them. Most people stop making friends in their 60s. They think, I already have enough. They think, I'm too old to start over. They think, these people will be here forever. That belief becomes their quiet tragedy, because time will ask a brutal question. Who is left when the familiar voices are gone? Friendship is not a luxury for later life. It is survival. You will need people who laugh with you, who listen without obligation, who choose you not because they must, but because they want to. Making new friends feels awkward at first. It feels unnecessary. It feels uncomfortable. But discomfort is far kinder than isolation. Cast a wide net. Meet younger people, older people, new people. Say yes more often. Because one day, the world will grow quiet. And on that day, a single friendly voice can feel like oxygen. Do not wait until the silence arrives to realize what you needed all along. There are conversations we keep postponing. Not because we don't care, but because they feel heavy. Talking about death. About money. About what we want when we can no longer speak. It feels dark. Uncomfortable. Too final. You tell yourself, there's time. I'm still healthy. We'll talk about it later. Later is a dangerous word. Because when these conversations are avoided, silence replaces clarity. And silence does not protect the people you love, it confuses them. It forces them to guess. It turns grief into conflict. It turns love into doubt. When a crisis comes, families are left asking painful questions. What would they have wanted? Where is the will? Who decides? What matters most? Without answers, every decision feels wrong. Children argue. Siblings fracture. Guilt grows. And all of it happens while hearts are already breaking. Avoidance feels kind in the present. It becomes cruelty in the future. Your loved ones do not need perfection. They need guidance. They need to know your wishes, your values, your priorities. They need your voice before it disappears. Talking about death does not invite it. It acknowledges reality. You are not preparing for the end. You are protecting the people who will survive you. These conversations are acts of love. They say, I care enough to make this easier for you. Speak while your mind is clear. While your words are strong. While you can explain, laugh, and reassure. Tell them what matters. Tell them what you fear. Tell them what you want. Because one day, they will be standing in a moment you cannot enter. And in that moment, your guidance will be the only comfort you can still offer. Do not leave your family in the dark. Clarity is a gift. Preparation is love. For most of your life, work gives you a name, a role, a reason to wake up. It tells the world and yourself who you are. Teacher, manager, engineer, business owner, provider, problem solver. It fills your days and quietly shapes your identity. So you dream about retirement. No alarms. No deadlines. No pressure. Just freedom. But what no one warns you about is this. Retirement doesn't give you purpose. It reveals whether you ever built one outside your job. When work ends, the noise fades. The phone stops ringing. The calendar empties. And many people discover they don't know who they are without being needed. Days stretch wide and hollow. Mornings lose their meaning. Freedom feels heavy. It isn't laziness. It isn't weakness. It's disorientation. For decades, your worth was measured by what you did. When doing disappears, silence takes its place. And in that silence, many people feel invisible inside their own lives. Retirement does not create emptiness. It exposes it. Those who thrive after retirement prepared long before it arrived. They built interests, curiosity, friendships, joy that had nothing to do with productivity. They learned who they were when no one was watching. Those who didn't feel like they fell off a cliff. You don't retire from living. You retire into who you really are. If your job is your entire identity, the future will feel like erasure, not release. So begin now. Explore what excites you when no one is paying you. Try things you were too busy for. Create a life that exists beyond obligation. Ask yourself, who am I when I am not useful? What do I love when nothing is required? Because one day, the title will be gone. And you will still need a reason to wake up. Build that reason now. You look at the person beside you and assume time is generous. You think there will always be another trip, another season, another year to do the things you keep postponing. You believe love stretches endlessly into the future. It doesn't. Love may last a lifetime, but healthy time does not. Most couples spend decades building a life, working, raising children, solving problems, surviving storms. They tell themselves, one day when things slow down, we'll finally live. They imagine retirement as the beginning of freedom, adventure, and closeness. What they don't realize is that the window for shared energy is narrow. There are only so many years when both of you are strong. Only so many when walking is easy. Only so many when curiosity still outruns fatigue. Then decline begins, quietly at first. Knees ache. Appointments appear. Energy fades. Plans shrink. The world becomes smaller. Those years still hold love. They still matter. But they are different. The tragedy is not growing old together. The tragedy is postponing joy until bodies can no longer carry it. How many trips did you delay? How many invitations did you decline? How many moments did you say, not now, to someone you love? Love is not just commitment. It is shared experience. It is staying out late, taking the long road, saying yes when comfort whispers no. The danger is assuming tomorrow will look like today. One day, you will give anything for one more walk side by side. One more spontaneous day. One more chance to say, let's go. Use the years that can still move. Spend energy on each other. Choose memory over routine. Because love doesn't end in a single moment. It fades in missed chances. And someday, you will look back and realize, the best days were available. You just thought they would wait. Every unresolved conflict feels temporary. You tell yourself there will be time. Another holiday. Another phone call. Another moment when things will calm down and words will come easily. You believe silence is just a pause. It isn't. Time does not wait for pride to soften. Death does not ask if you're ready. People leave suddenly. Hearts stop. Accidents happen. Illness arrives without warning. And arguments that once felt small become permanent walls. Conversations freeze in unfinished sentences. Apologies die in your throat. Being right feels powerful, until there is no one left to prove it to. You replay old moments in your head. I should have called. I should have let it go. I should have reached first. But should have cannot cross a grave. Forgiveness is not about pretending you weren't hurt. It is about choosing connection over ego. It is about understanding that life is shorter than pride and far more fragile than anger. Some apologies expire. Some doors never reopen. Some names are spoken only in memory. You think silence protects you. It doesn't. It only delays pain until it becomes permanent. Ask yourself, if this person disappeared tomorrow, what would remain unsaid? That question carries more truth than any argument ever could. You don't forgive because they deserve it. You forgive because you deserve peace. Reach first. Even if your voice shakes. Even if you weren't wrong. Even if it feels unfair. The courage to heal is greater than the need to win. Because one day, you would trade everything you own for one more conversation. And it will be unavailable. Don't let the last chapter be silence. Choose reconciliation while time still allows it. There comes a moment when you realize time has changed speed. What once felt slow now feels unstoppable. Years collapse into each other. Birthdays arrive too quickly. Seasons blur. You look back and wonder how a decade disappeared without leaving a clear memory behind. This is what no one tells you. The older you get, the faster life moves. In youth, every experience is new, so time feels wide. In later years, familiarity compresses it. Days repeat. Weeks vanish. And suddenly, you are standing in a future you never truly noticed arriving. The danger is not growing old. The danger is drifting while still alive. Many people live on autopilot. They wake, repeat, sleep. They wait for someday to start living. But someday is not a destination. It is a story we tell ourselves to avoid the present. Moments only become meaningful when you notice them. When you look instead of scroll. When you listen instead of hurry. When you say, I love you, instead of assuming it's understood. Time cannot be saved. It can only be spent. And how you spend it becomes your life. Presence is not passive. It is a decision. To be here. To feel. To speak what matters. To do what you keep delaying. One day, you will look back and ask, where did it all go? Let the answer be different from regret. Let it be, I was there. I noticed. I loved. I tried. I didn't wait. You cannot slow time, but you can stop letting it pass you by unnoticed. Look at the people around you. Look at the day in front of you. Look at the life that is happening right now. This moment is not a rehearsal. It is the story. Be present in it.